Hey, my lovely people, it's your girl Kat back with a brand new episode for you guys. But before we get into the topic for today, I just wanted to thank all my supporters. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to something that I have to say. Thank you for your encouraging messages. And just know from the bottom of my heart, I really, really appreciate all the support. And I love you guys. Love you guys so much. But okay, for today's topic, I'm gonna kind of be the bearer of bad news for some of you guys. Some of you may not be aware of this. Some of you may have already passed this phase in your life, so this is just old news to you. But for some of you guys, you are the problem. You're the problem. Sorry to say. You are the creator of your story. Sometimes we can be our own hero, and sometimes we can be our own villain. It's your story, so you have to choose which one you're gonna be. But sometimes we really think we're all just, the heroes. We're all just doing everything right. And we don't realize that a lot of the bad things that have happened to us, we have played some sort of role in why that happened the way it did. So, in order to grow, you have to accept and acknowledge every role you play in your own life. You have to take full responsibility for yourself. Even as an adult, this is extremely hard to do. This is something I have been working on for years. I'm still working on to this day. I'm a work in progress just like anybody else. And I know that nobody wants to paint themselves as the bad guy. Nobody ever wants to paint themselves in a negative light, because who wants to be the problem? You don't want to be. Life gives us enough problems. The world gives us enough negativity. You don't ever want to have to admit to yourself that you added to that. It sucks. It really, really sucks. But just for me personally, I literally had to look at myself and look at my life and realize that, hey, Kat, you're the problem. And this is something that's really, really tough, because you have to look at every aspect of your life. So when it comes to friendships, when it comes to relationships, if you don't like the way people are treating you, why do you allow it? If you don't like the way someone's talking to you, why do you keep talking to them? Why do you keep letting them talk to you any kind of way? The one thing I've learned in life is that the way people treat you is a direct reflection of how they feel about you. Now, how people act has everything to do with themselves and how they feel about themselves. But when it comes to their interactions with other people, it reflects how they truly feel about you. So if your friend is always throwing shade at you, always giving you backhanded compliments, kind of really talking negatively about you every chance that they get, it's because that's how they feel about you. They're literally telling you. The way people treat you tells you everything about how they feel about you. And regardless of what a person does, no one can even make you feel any kind of way about any action unless you let them. You define what's a compliment. You define what's an insult. You define what makes you feel good. You define everything, because what might be good to one person might be bad to the next person, because we all have our own stories. We all have our own lives. Perfect example, some woman, you can say, man, she is that bitch. I love that girl. And she'll really take that as a compliment. Wow, girl, yes, I am that bitch. Thank you for saying that. Some people really feel good about that. And then on the other hand, you have women where if you call them a bitch in any type of aspect, any light, they're damn near ready to fight you, because it's such an insult. It's such a negative connotation in their mind, in their heart, that you cannot call them that. So I'm just saying all this to say that you choose how people are going to treat you by what you allow. The great Eleanor Roosevelt. Actually, I don't know how great she was because I've never done that much research on her. But one of the great quotes that I love by her, she says, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." And that's such a true statement, because nobody can make you feel good, bad, or anything in between unless you let them. So when it comes to the ways that people treat you in your life, the reason they are continuing to exhibit whichever behavior it is, it's because you allow it. You allow them to still play whichever role they play in your life, treating you however you let them treat you. So if you keep letting them talk to you crazy, they're gonna keep talking to you crazy. And if you keep letting your man cheat, your woman cheat, their chances are they're gonna keep doing it, because you choose what you're gonna allow in your life. In my own personal life, I really had to realize that I have been my own worst enemy. I let people hurt me. I let people neglect me. And I played such a big role in my own suffering. I had to really admit to myself that I was involved. The only reason I was abused for so many years is because I stayed with someone who was abusing me. Period. The only reason I felt so bad going around my friends all the time is because I allowed people to be in my life who clearly showed me they weren't really my friend. And that was my fault. I had to realize that I was really the problem. And for a lot of you guys that can relate to this, sometimes when you pick apart all the situations, all the different things you've dealt with in life, you have to realize what is the common denominator here. And sometimes that common denominator is you. But just as you are the problem, I want you to know that you're the solution. If there's anything you don't like about your life in any aspect, I'm talking about your job, your relationship, your friendships, your car, anything. If there's anything you don't like about your life, it's up to you to change it. It's up to you to change it. If you want better for your life, you have to go for it. You have to be the one to do the work. You have to be the one to stand up and say, hey, no, you can't talk to me like that. I don't like when people talk to me like that. So you can't talk to me like that. You have to be the one to say, hey, I don't like you putting your hands on me. If you want us to be together in this relationship, you have to not put your hands on me. And not only do you have to say these things, but your actions need to reflect how you feel about yourself. If you want better, you have to do better for yourself, because everything starts with you. You really have to be the change you want to see in the world. If you want a better story, you need to create one for yourself. Like, I really realized, just reflecting on my almost 30 years of life, I really realized that a lot of the worst mistakes I made came from listening to other people instead of listening to myself. And that's my fault, because in my heart, in my mind, in my spirit, in my soul, I knew right from wrong. And I still chose to do wrong. I still chose to be in spaces I promised myself I'd never be in. I still chose to be around people I said I'd never want to be around. I'd never want to be like. And once I really got in the mindset that I wanted different, I wanted better, I became that. I literally became that. And it truly changed my life. It really did. So in all the ways that you are the problem, you can be the solution. But it's truly up to you to do the work. It's all on you. Just remember that. But thank you all for listening, and I hope you got something out of today's topic. And just know that even if you're the problem, even if you're the worst person in your life, anytime you choose, You can be your own hero. And you can be better, and you can have better, and you can achieve better than you ever dreamed. But it has to all start with you, each and every time. Take care, you guys. Thank you so much for listening.